Yeah, I got my 2 live crew with me. PW, baby, we out here. So yeah, keep telling y'all never, ever, ever find another person like you. Okay, go ahead, Trustee.
Good evening, everyone. I want to announce we had a great MS Walk event this past weekend. The MS Walk is usually in Orland or in downtown, but we brought it to Dolton. There was about 300-400 people there. It was a great event because everybody attended. Wasn't no politics involved in it. Wasn't no disagreement, but everybody came there in support of people who have multiple sclerosis. I've had MS for the past 11 years, and we raised money to help find a cure, to get better medication, and it was done. It was really well attended, and everybody came. So I appreciate the board, the mayor, everybody who supported me in this event. My family came in town. It was a great time. It was a great thing for the South Suburbs. So we're going to be doing it again next year. The MS Walk will be annual, and we will continue to raise money. And there's a lot more, as I'm finding out now through the MS Society, it's a lot more Black people getting diagnosed with MS and autoimmune diseases. So we're going to, I'm going to be working with the MS Society as far as helping Black people and young Black men educate themselves on their health and what to eat and what not to eat, and people who do get diagnosed with MS. So I appreciate everyone coming out to support this weekend event. It was a powerful event, and the spirit in there was really good, and everybody really enjoyed it. And that is the end of my announcements. And I always want to add, well, anybody else, I want to ask a question after this. But any other announcements from anybody else? That's it for my announcement. But after this, I want to ask a question.
Sure, go ahead.
I want to ask, this week I will have a Public Works committee meeting, and I want to know if we can have it in person inside. I think we're going to do it Thursday. I talked to Stacy, so I just want to know if we can have it inside in here this week.
Yes, of course you can. Just see Keith Freeman and make sure that you have everything you need.
Okay. That's it for my announcements.
All right, thank you. Any more announcements?
Mayor, may I be recognized?
Yes, go ahead, Trustee.
Okay. Screening. It's Friday through Sunday, May the 27th through the 29th. It's for the Chicagoland areas and suburbs. So if you are between the ages of 55 and 80, you qualify to receive $100 for complete the screening assessment. So if anybody is interested in to see if you have the Alzheimer's gene, see me after tonight's board meeting. Also, we have Tea with the Trustees the second Saturday, which will be June the 11th, 9:30 a.m. Lester Long Fieldhouse, 1400 Evers, and we will have attorney Mario Reed. So to come out if you're having issues with your property taxes, to see if you qualify for any of the senior freeze home exemptions, please come out June the 11th, 9:30 a.m. Lester Long Fieldhouse, and we have attorney Mario Reed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any more announcements?
May I be recognized, the community for coming out to the Mother's Day event it was a really good turnout, and I'm sure we'll probably do it next year. We'll do it next year, but it was a great turnout for the community, for the mothers. That's it.
All right. Anyone else?
May I be recognized, ma'am?
Yes, go ahead, Trustee.
I would like to share some information regarding a scholarship that was brought to my attention by Senator Napoleon Harris. It's called the Voyager Scholarship, which was created by the Obamas and Brian Chesky, Airbnb CEO, to help shape such leaders. So this scholarship gives college students financial aid to alleviate the burden of college debt, meaningful travel experiences to expand their horizons, and a network of mentors and leaders to support them. So if anyone have any questions regarding the scholarship and how they can apply, feel free to contact me at 708-968-4297 or after the meeting. I'd also like to announce that we are having another karaoke night with the trustees this Friday night. So please come and sing with us. We had an amazing time last time. So we're looking forward to seeing all the residents. And we are having a housing committee meeting next month. So be on the lookout for that, and a youth committee meeting at the end of this month.
All right, thank you. Any more announcements? I have several announcements for this evening. First, I would like to thank the residents for all their love and all their support, for always supporting me in my movement here in the village of Dolton. Just a reminder of a couple of projects that we are working on. One is, I call it the Kids Zone. It's off of Greenwood. It's the Kids Project Park. So the first project that I'm working on is rebuilding Melody Fitness into a Sky Zone, and that will be strictly for kids. The next project I'm working on is all the vacant land along Greenwood. That is a skate park, a splash pad, a dog park, and also a food truck row with a pavilion. So those are things that we are currently working on. And we are also working on getting the basketball courts back to its original shape so that now kids can have somewhere to go to play. Next is the second round of ARFA funds. Should be here in the first week of June. We are scheduled to do flooding as relates to flooded basements and driveways. And then also, if you guys pay attention to our website, please sign up so that you can be a part of this program. Next, our CDBG Alley project will start first week in June. Again, this has never, ever been done. You told me you wanted it, and we are repaving and refixing all the alleys within the village of Dolton. Of course, we're going to do it in spells. So everybody, I just need you to be patient. You are on the list. We will get to you, but we're going to start our first round of alleys the first week of June. Two announcements. Cinco de Mayo. We had a Cinco de Mayo fest at Thornton Township that was yesterday. It was a huge success. I just want everybody to know that I care about every diversity within the township. It was great. If you didn't hear about it or know about it, please go onto the township's website so you can know about the upcoming events within the township and the services that they do offer to the residents of Dolton, because we are a part of the township. Tomorrow, we are hiring at Thornton Township in the basement from 3:30 until 5 p.m. So if anybody looking for employment, please come out, please apply. We have several different jobs, especially for the kids. We're real big on hiring youth. And then we also have some other seasoned jobs for people that want to be directors or anything else. But again, this information is on Thornton Township website, and you can come there tomorrow between the hours of 3:30, well, it's 2:30 to 5 p.m. To apply. And come prepared, because you never know. We do on-the-spot interviews. Dolton, we are hiring police officers. Guys, if you are lateral and you work in another town, you can apply here at the Village of Dolton, and we will bring you on. You can see Chief Collins if you're interested in coming on as a police officer here in Dolton. Please apply. And we also are taking applications for the academy. So anybody that still wants to be a police officer in the Village of Dolton, please sign up. The application deadline is Wednesday. If you want to go to the academy to be a police officer. I know I got several calls about it, so this is the information. Apply online, or you can come in or see Chief Collins if you have more questions as it relates to how that process works. Concerns about tree trimming. Tree trimming has started. If anybody is interested, Stacy Correll is here. He's the superintendent for public works. Please see him after this meeting. If you have a tree that needs to get cut down, trimmed, or anything like that, we are now taking addresses. And Stacy Corral email is askcorral@vodolton.org, and their direct line is 708-201-3280. Sidewalk project is back up and running. If you are in need of repair as relates to your sidewalk at your home, please reach out to Brian Thigpen. It is B Thigpen, that is spelled THIGPEN @vodolton.org, and his direct line is 708-752-3906. And again, if you have a street or alley that is in need of repair or repaved, please sign up with Stacy Corral so we can put you on the list for our next round. I want to give big kudos to Ed Steves for his MS Walk that was hosted here Saturday in Dolton. It was a huge success. I attended it, and so did others. And I just want everybody to know that despite our differences, I'm a human being before anything. And I always, always, always support the cause. Because remember, title's not forever, but being a human is. So thank you for inviting me. Next, the window and roof program. We had a lot of people apply. We are currently going through the list, and this is for our grant program for our veterans and our seniors. You guys apply for either roof or window replacement. We have people going out, checking your roof or windows to make sure that you do qualify. Some people have applied and they don't qualify for a window or a roof. So that's why we're doing a checks and balance as it relates to that. Okay. Now, that's the end of my report. Next is public comment. Anybody have any public comment? You can step to the podium to my left for public comment. And if you have comments for the budget, you can include that as well.
Greetings in the name of the Father, everyone, and the Son. Greetings to the chief, the fire department, all the heads, trustee. I'm going to start. Thank you, Mayor. It's like you picked my brain because I was on that basketball thing. Oh, and the way Sunshine Park, however y'all can get to Sunshine Park. Them people know Sunshine Park over there. Y'all just need to go over there and kind of dress it up. And the reason I like to apologize that I haven't got around to thanking you for Trash Tree Mountain. Just got a lot on my plate out here. And the reason I was so adamant about that, this gentleman right here, that's who that street is named after. He once lived in Harvey and he moved here to Dolton, Olympian. And this book right here, it's called The Dolton Tattler. And this is the first time I decided to bring it, though my hand been reaching for it many times over a few years. Thought I'd bring it today to share some things, just like she said, we humans. Our community got history. How many people y'all know that Jimmy Carter came to Thorn Ridge before? You hear what I'm saying? So my thing is, eventually, stories of leadership. You know what's going to end up in this book? This started 1892 to 1992. I found it when my mom moved in her house out here. I picked up from here on. The lady in the back of this book, she's the one that wrote this book. Now, I'm picking up the writing of it from here to current. I sure don't want a whole lot of stories up in there that just don't go nowhere. And I don't want us to end up in this section here. I don't even want to have this section in my book. Mayhem, misery, and murder. I'm not gonna want that because there are so many good quality things.
1 minute remaining.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief. I appreciate that. I simply wanted to get around. Thank you on the dog park. Look, you get to that because I just had some people ask me. Not only do they like to see a dog park, they would actually like to have their first dog show. Now, what I say about seeds, I don't care who take the seed and grow it and water it. Just make it come to fruition and have some good foundation. And I want to thank y'all for my garbage can top and whatever y'all do. We kind of need to hold the chief for a minute. But these individuals right here, now I'm going to tell y'all, I'm aligned with them. Because for a minute we need it. Just like I turned in some guns today, parent called me. Her son went out of town. She said she's going to clean her house. And sure enough, what she found, I got too many people that's on the fence about things out here. So where they hesitant to call. I don't want them to be hesitant to call for that. But when they called me, I got on up and I went. So when I say, we need this here. We got parents here, they need this. And they need to know that somewhere else.
We've reached 3 minutes.
Mayor, trustees.
Thank you.
My name is Charmaine Rodez. I'm a 5.5-year resident to Dolton. I want to thank you first for putting a light on the corner of 152nd and Evers, because there had been a lot of crime in that particular area, either on the block before me, the block after me, or any blocks in the surrounding areas. And I stay on the block predominantly with a lot of seniors. One other thing I wanted to ask was, I know I was watching one of the last meetings and you were speaking of looking into animal control, and I see deer literally walking down 152nd Street like people. I first noticed them about maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. I would see 1 or 2 deer out. But most recently, I see them at like 4:30 in the afternoon. And I know that that's an area where children walk home from school. They're getting off the buses. There are a lot of residents in my area. They'll walk their dogs that are seniors. So I didn't know how or if something can be looked into as far as the animal control for the deer, because they're literally crossing Martin Luther King Drive coming into the neighborhood. And it's only a matter of time before they continue to walk further and further on. So those are just a couple of my concerns. And I didn't know with the senior roofing and housing, I heard that there was a cutoff for April 22nd. Will that be reopening for seniors to reapply? Because I do have a mother that's a senior in Dolton, and she was interested in that program as well.
Just so everyone know, we're not opening it back up unless we are under the threshold of the money that we have spaces back available. Then we will basically reopen it for whatever space is still available.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for your
You're
time.
welcome. Anyone else for public comment? All right. Next on the agenda is
The gentleman right there.
Okay.
How's everybody? I just want to, I have a bachelor, I'm a certification national. So if I can be used in any kind of way, I would like to do it. So I'm just letting you know. I have about 40 certification, national, not state, national. So in any way I can be used, I would like to. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. We have anyone else? Somebody else? Okay. All right.
Board of Trustees, Mayor. My name is Jamila Taylor, but pretty much everybody knows me as JT.
One minute, JT. Can you make sure this mic work?
Hello? Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. I'm also a resident as well as an employee for the village. A few days ago, I had the displeasure of seeing my face plastered all over Facebook. It was a very traumatic and embarrassing thing. I have a past. I'm not proud of my past, but I am not my past. That is my past. I hope and pray that it wasn't, someone on the board playing politics, as I know that individuals tend to do. I bust my butt every day at the job with the opportunity that I was given every day. Unfortunately, they call me Mr. JT Do Too Much. And the reason they call me that is because I'm in the paint. I'm the individual that Stacy Corral calls when it's 14 below to fix a water main break, right? To make sure that the residents have water for the next morning. I'm the individual that's shoveling snow to make sure that the seniors are able to go out and drive to their driveway the next morning to get to wherever they're trying to go to, wherever they're trying to go to get their medication or whatever. I don't know the individual that did this deplorable thing. And also, I want to apologize to the mayor because they trying to use my past against her, in which a lot of you trustees know me because you know what? I assisted you all as well as I assisted her. I look at the picture when I took it and you all were holding hands in prayer. It was the dream team. And to see how we've gotten so far away from that is truly a shame. But like I said,
1 minute remaining.
All right, Chief, don't send your people at me. I'm not my past, but the individual that did this deplorable thing, what they fail to realize is that not only did you bring up my past, but you also hurt the individuals that lost a loved one, right? Because now they have to relive what happened to them. You all might not think that your actions trying to go at her would only affect her. No, the same way it affected me, because even though that individual didn't lose his life by my hands, but it was by my actions. And I paid the price. I did 20 years in the penitentiary for it. Right? And I try to put that behind me every day. I know the weight that I carry, not only the weight of my ancestors, but the reason that I do too much every day is because not only do I have to work for myself, but the individual that lost his life.
And we reached the 3-minute mark.
That is the reason that I do the extra. That is the reason that I stay late after work sometimes when he say, hey, I need somebody. This Friday, I had to move a whole tree branch by myself. I didn't call nobody. I did it on my own.
And we're past the 3-minute mark.
I'm sorry, Chief. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Go
Don't
ahead.
play
You finish? All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Don't go nowhere. Ain't nothing more important in this room y'all about to say today than that. I want to see you match that while you talking about time. Up here, you looking at over 100 years of prison time. Over 100 years of prison time. In the city of Chicago, they talk about his murder. They talk about the murder I was arrested for and did time, so-called serve your debt to society. But they don't talk about the 300 or 400 murders we prevented. That's amazing to me. You talking about men who served their debt to society, and we live in a whole country with our ancestors' blood soaked in this soil that y'all work for. A lot of us in this country, soaked in this soil, that never apologized for murder, never apologized for white privilege, never apologized for the inequities and disinvestment in these communities. And when I see black people up here, and more than I see anywhere, and we talking about ex-felons, returning citizens, I've heard the mayor do a whole second chance village, and I heard so much negative about that. In Chicago, you remove ex-felons from violence prevention. I wonder what those numbers would look like. I wonder what the numbers would look like if you remove us from counseling, from therapy, emotional learning, social programs. I mentor over 80 young men in Chicago at risk youth from ages 8 to 27. Me, by myself, 80. And on top of running an organization of violence prevention intervention guys and personnel. But I still have time for 80 young men. And I guarantee you ain't nobody up here matching that. And we the ones who come back to society. Ex-felons are the only caste class of individuals that's perpetually discriminated by everybody.
1 minute remaining.
Even our own people who in position of authority don't figure out how we get at this issue. It's like you don't want him to work, commit home invasion, kill somebody else, kill some children. That's what y'all want. It's like here's a man that's an example of your city of what real reformation look like, and that should be applauded and commended. But yeah, he has to fight. But I just saw all y'all standing up there talking about Jesus. These people talking about Jesus. Guess who he was visiting? Guess who Jesus hang out with? He wasn't with politicians and scribes and Pharisees. He was hanging with us in the streets, stopping these little homies from sliding, drilling, and killing on y'all. Can't get a police chief no help. We got a whole superintendent of police said, man, we can't do it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Austin, and I'm a village employee.
Can you speak into the mic?
I'm Kim Austin, and I'm a village employee. And I came back tonight because I work in the streets, and I listen to what the people and the residents have to say in the streets. And I can't explain this to them when they ask me a question, what the recall is about, because I really don't understand it myself. But I'm asking you guys who are doing this recall, if you could just give some clarity to the seniors and some of the residents that don't really understand what's going on, then so that they can get a better understanding of it, because it's bad when I'm out there with the people and I don't have an answer for them and I don't have nowhere to get an answer from. So I came back tonight to ask you guys if you can make a conscious effort just to let the people know The lady had me a door knocker that says, we hiring convicted, and she want to ask me details about it. So if we gonna say we hiring a convicted person to do a job, we need to get details. If the girl was 14 and he was 15, y'all need to say all of that information. Don't get a half truth, because when I'm in the street and I'm asked these questions by these people, I don't have an answer for them. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is approvals. Discussion and approval of ordinance 22 adopting the 2022-2023 annual appropriation ordinance budget. Is there a motion to discuss? Is there a second?
Second.
It's been motion and second for discussion. Discussion.
Mayor, if I could be recognized.
Yes.
Okay. My question or my ask would be, last week, Thursday, I did email a request regarding some of the personnel lines that are within the budget, that those be expounded on kind of like they were last year. Additionally, there were other non-personnel questions that I have, but I wanted to jumble all those together. So my suggestion is that we push this into a finance committee meeting until we can get further discussion on these items. Thank you.
Okay. So if you got questions, this is the Cal meeting. This is discussion. So I don't see why everybody want to push things further back. You can ask your questions now. The staff is here. They can answer any questions that the board may have. I know that this was on agenda 2 weeks ago, and we stopped and did not have a actual hearing. So this is the hearing that we're having today to talk about the budget.
May I be recognized?
Okay, well, attorney, just correct me. We did have board members have any discussion regarding any of the items. Please ask your questions. Go ahead, trustee.
Okay, you just said this was a committee of the whole meeting. I thought it was a special board, special meeting because we're voting on items. Also, the email that did go out, the trustees' house is in reference to the elaboration of the budget, because it's all summarized and clumped together versus being itemized as it was never responded to by the finance person. There are some concerns on this budget. Once again, we got it on May 2nd, I believe, at 3:26. You wanted us to talk about it and discuss it at a public hearing for the residents. The residents hadn't even been eligible to look at it because we had just got it a couple of hours before the meeting. And then you keep saying contact the department heads for them to get back to us with questions, but nobody, either they're dragging their feet or not getting to us. At this moment right now, I am uncomfortable to even attempt to approve this budget because of what I've seen over the last 10 months has put me into a scare of where we would be by December at the rate that things are going. So I am not comfortable at all voting on this budget tonight.
Okay. So for the record, we did not ask for a vote. We asked for a discussion. So now, if everybody's up here paying attention, you said this is a special meeting. It's a special meeting because there's things that we need to approve. So everybody know when it's a Cal meeting and we want to discuss things, we can put it for discussion or approval. Instead of posting two separate meetings, one being a Cal and one being a special meeting, we just turned the entire meeting into a special board meeting. The Board of Trustees can choose whether they want to vote on it or only discuss. Right now, it is up on the table for discussion only. So if y'all have any questions, you can ask them now. Instead of everybody backpedaling about what department head is not answering or not saying, now's your opportunity to ask them whatever your question may be. As it relates to you getting the budget, you said on May 3rd, late, you guys did not. Everyone had the budget prior to. So with that being said, if you got it on May 3rd, today is May 16th. So that means you had ample time to look over the budget, which is the budget.
Okay. Just a rebuttal, on the agenda, it says discussion and approval. So please don't come at me like I can't read. It says discussion and approval, meaning that if it's discussed and we agree, we would be voting on it tonight. So please don't do that, Mayor.
Yes.
Okay, so trustee, if you read, you just made a, how do I say this to you so you can get it right and put in layman's term? Put in layman's term. You just made a motion to discuss only. So that means we're doing what? Discussing only. That means there's not a motion on the floor for approval.
That's
so
not.
What I'm asking again, instead of us going over words, let's talk about the budget. The budget right now, as it stands, is up for discussion. for the Board of Trustees to discuss whatever their concerns are as a whole. So obviously you don't have any discussion. So moving on.
No,
Anybody else?
I have something to say.
Okay, go ahead.
It's discussion and approval. Last year, we went through every budget item line by line, which takes hours. We cannot pass this without it being public. It's not on the website. This is $26 million of budget, village finances, taxpayers' money that we can't just brush off like it's something easy. All we're asking is to take the time like we did last year. The first year we passed the budget, we sat down right here with the village administrator right there and went through every line with the finance director. All I'm asking is that let's do that again. We've done that for the past 8 years. When we were trustee, we would have to present the budget to the board. It wasn't on a meeting like this. It would be one meeting for the budget, and you went through every line. We're not doing that now. We're not saying we're against the budget. We're just saying be transparent with it. Just be transparent with it. And has it, like the finance director said, go through a finance committee where that be the only one. There's 4 other things on this agenda. We'll be here all night. How we used to do it, how we should do it. You go through every line item to be transparent with taxpayers' money. That's all we're asking. To do it right now, have discussion here. I have 20 questions. You think the resident want to sit here for the next 2 hours for all the questions I got? No, you have a finance committee like we did last year, like we did the year prior. Just be consistent with it. I'm asking for transparency. There's so many things on this budget that we're not okay with. We don't have questions for, but we can't tax the residents here all night with this. So the finance committee, he asked the finance director for certain things. We never got back to us. Be transparent with the money. That's all we're asking. We're not, this administration is not being transparent with the money. We can't even get questions asked because the department heads are scared to even answer our questions. We can't even talk to some of them. So can we at least be transparent and let's have a finance committee meeting like we did for the past 8 years, a finance committee meeting where we go through our budget line by line, which takes hours. And if we're not going to do that, I'm not passing this today in a vacuum. That's irresponsible on our part. That's what we're responsible for. That's what we got elected to do. So let me do my job and let's go to a finance committee meeting where it's going to take 2-3 hours to do it. And everybody here is invited to do that. But it's not going to be in this regular board meeting that passes. It's discuss and approval. We can discuss it, but we're not approving it tonight. Do it right. $500,000 without board approval. Spending that's going on here is crazy. So all I'm saying is that go to a finance committee meeting like we always done. I repeat myself, for the last few years, we went through it line by line. We can't do it tonight in one line item. It's too much money. It's $26 million to go through. That's all I'm asking. That's all I got to say. We go to a finance meeting and we'll do it right and we'll pass it off. But we can't do it tonight. You won't sit here with over $26 million.
And now in my 1 year as mayor, I've done transparency as well. So when it comes to the budget items, you guys have time to look it over and come to a meeting and be adults about it and see the budget for what it is and ask the questions. You saying it to scare the public, I'm trying to word it the right way. You're trying to scare the public into, oh, we got one night to go over this. If you guys wanted to have a committee meeting or any other type of meeting, you could have called it. Don't get here at this actual meeting and act as though someone's trying to push something down your throat. All I'm asking, if you had 20 questions, why didn't you submit 20 questions to any other department head so they could answer the questions that you needed answered? You did not do that. But we get here and then we grandstand for the people. Everybody in the whole entire world have budgets. None of them do the things that we do here. Just because you guys did it in the past, don't make it right. Once you learn and you know to do better, you always going to do better. But right now, you want to do things the way you done it about this budget. We're going back and forth over who said what we should do. Could we have a finance meeting? I could have did that. Could have called a special meeting and actually talked about the budget if that's what y'all choose to do. But we get here and no one wants to talk about the actual business at hand, which is the budget. We're going back and forth over nothing. So we're not going to discuss the budget. There's no need to waste any more other people's time as we talk about the things on the agenda. We might as well go ahead, pass it along, and go to the next agenda item. Does the Board of Trustees want to pass on the budget and move on to the next line item?
No, I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead. Is it about the budget?
Yes, about the budget.
Go ahead.
This administration got handed off a great financial town because the previous administration, with Trustee House, with myself, we went through the budget. We had financial audits. The reason why this town is in the financial condition it's in, because we took our time with the budget. That's all I'm asking is what we did the past 8 years obviously worked because the financial condition is much better than it was 8 years ago. And I was a part of that. And she was a part of that. I think Harley, but she was a part of it and Trustee House was a part of it. All I'm saying is not about ramming it through. All I'm saying, we got to take our time to do it right, period. And the things that we've done 8 years ago, that's how you was able to inherit such a financially sound town. And the money that we spent on this town was because they put reserves in. You got the sewage fund that we spayed out of, that we got the sewage truck out of. We did things at Public Works. We got a front load. We spent almost $1 million because of things that the previous administration put in place. And all I'm saying, I'm trying to follow that because that actually works.
Our direction
And it's in a good
on
place
how to
now.
do the budget, along with Stacey Carrell. Public Works is back on track. Public Works is doing what they supposed to have been doing a year ago before I became mayor. So stop with the previous administration. The previous administration made a lot of mistakes. The previous administration is what the people did not want. So what I'm asking you is to make sure that you read everything, get your questions in, so we don't have to do this dance with the public every time we have a board meeting, because nothing gets done. Nothing gets accomplished. We sit here, we go back and forth and bicker over nothing. So what I'm asking is, we will go ahead, go ahead, y'all have y'all meet. Y'all let me know when y'all ready to actually pass a budget. You can actually call a special board meeting and have whatever you want and sit here for hours, for all I care, and go over a budget. All I'm saying is, normally a real person, what we do is we read and we go through whatever we got issues with. And then we go and we talk to the department head, get our clarity, get our understanding of what we want to do and what we want to change. And then you go and you pass a budget. Stop acting as though we're not being transparent with the people, because we have. The budget has been available for the last month. And if you haven't read it or went through it with a fine-tooth comb, then that is on you, Trustee Steves. But now I'm asking, if nobody wants to pass it, let's move on. Because most board meeting is, you talk about it, you discuss it, and then you move on. You either vote it up or down, you go on to the next agenda item. We are sitting here, told you this before I became mayor. They said they do not want board meetings that last for no 4 hours. Think about it again. We're talking about nothing. So now, as a leader, I'm going to go on and move this board forward. Since it's up for discussion, do I have to get a vote to go to the next item? Or
no, I mean, it's up for discussion. There's,
you need no vote? Okay. All right. So we're going to move on. No, we're going to move on.
No,
we're moving
no, I
on
have a
to the
comment, Mayor.
next agenda item.
Mayor,
If we're not, okay,
I
let
have
me
a comment.
explain then. If we're not about to discuss the budget, we're going to go back and forth. I do not want to sit here for an hour while these people sit here and wait to see what we do with this budget. If no one wants to talk about the budget, it's nothing to discuss. Us bickering or going back and forth, the people didn't come here for a show. They came here for us to take care of the business. So if any trustee got something to talk about as relates to the actual budget, let's talk. If we do not, let's move on. So we get through our agenda and everybody.
This is about the people, okay? This is $26 million in taxpayers' money that we're spending. It's not about us. So when you're talking about spending such a large lump sum, it's best that and responsible for us to do it the correct way. Last year, I heard you say something about the previous administration. I don't want to talk about the previous administration. I like to talk about last year, how we did it. Last year, the village administrator at the time sat down with the trustees and said, hey, let's discuss if you all want something in particular added to the budget. What are you all's thoughts? From there, you all proceeded to get the budget approved, and we said then, hey, that's fine, but let's have a finance committee meeting like we've done forever. As a resident, I appreciated the fact that the village took time to explain to us how the taxpayers' money is being spent. It's important. So when you say, okay, well, we can have these meetings, or we can do this later, have a finance committee meeting where we have it with the residents, explain it to the residents. So we're just saying, hey, let's be clear. Let's have a finance committee meeting. Let's discuss it line by line to know exactly how we're spending their money. And let's go from there and move forward with approving the budget. We did the same thing last year. Last year, you all brought it to us, but you didn't bring it to a finance committee meeting. You didn't want to discuss it with the people, and we denied it. We said to you all then, hey, approve it. And that's what we did last time. After you all decided, after we denied it, you all decided to let it go to a finance committee meeting. We approved it after everyone understood exactly what we approving. We're just saying, let's do the same thing this year. Take it to a finance committee meeting so it's all detailed, and go forward with approving it. That's it. So I just want to make it clear, there's no argument. There's just a discussion on the seriousness of spending $26 million of the taxpayers' money. I don't think it's just something that we should rush. We should just do it the right way. So that's my comment, Mayor. I just feel as if we should just do it the right way. There's no going back and forth. The taxpayers should be clear on what we're spending. As a trustee, I like to be clear with explaining to them what they're spending, and I like to be clear on when I'm approving what I'm spending. So thank you, Mayor.
You guys have ample time to approve the budget. You guys have these fake meetings that y'all could have easily put the budget onto your agenda to talk about it if you want to talk about transparency. You guys chose not to. Yet you get here and wait a whole nother 2 months before wanting to even think about passing the budget. You guys had a finance meeting last month. Did you put it on the agenda? You guys did not. So stop pointing the finger and take responsibility at your job as trustees to make sure you do what you're supposed to do. You guys are not doing that. You're talking about transparency, but you guys are not being transparent, period. I wish you guys would stop pointing the finger and do the will of the people, which is put it on the agenda, discuss it, and go over it. As it relates to last year, we did not go line by line by line on a budget. You would be there all day. People picked out what they wanted to talk about and discuss, and we discussed it. We changed it. We did whatever we wanted to do as related to adding it to the budget or removing it. That's what we did last year. So if you guys want to do that again, you can call a special meeting. There's no need to wait 2 more weeks to have another meeting in order to talk about the budget. If you guys want to keep kicking the can down the road, by all means, go right ahead. It's at your discretion. You are the Board of Trustees. Now, I would like to move on to the next agenda item, which is discussion and approval of proposed inducement resolution for 300 West Sibley project. Attorney Faselli.
Thank you, Mayor. We did discuss this last time. We did receive some comments from the Developers Council. We did circulate this for approval. This is regarding the 300 West Sibley project, which is based off of the previously entered into settlement.
If I may, before, because I don't know if we closed out the motion on A.
We did. We closed out, trustee. We on to B now. Is there a motion or approval?
We never motioned to table it officially and took a roll
No,
call.
but Chair, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, you made a motion to discuss it. Everyone had an opportunity to discuss it. I mean, you can call for a motion to approval, but you'd have to make a motion. She bifurcated the motions, right? There's a motion to discuss and a motion to approve.
Okay.
There was discussion had. I think every one of the trustees, maybe Trustee Brown didn't say anything. I apologize.
Okay.
That's correct. That's correct.
Madam Clerk, is that correct?
Yes. Shouldn't we motion to table it though?
Well, you can motion to table it if you want to. I mean, it's a discretionary thing. You can motion to table it, or you could move along because there was not a motion to approval made.
Correct.
So it's really the discretion of the board. You can motion to table it if you like, but there's never been a motion to approve that's been put on the table. There was a motion for discussion, which is moved and seconded.
Correct.
So again, it's
Okay.
multiple ways to skin a cat on this. It was never motioned up for approval.
All right. So is there a motion to discuss or approve the proposed inducement resolution for 300 West Sibley project? Okay. So is there a motion? Okay. I'm gonna say this and we'll move on to the next thing. This is 300 West Sibley. This is the old Joe River Center. Basically, it's been abandoned for several years, over a decade, and one of my visions is to make it into a restaurant row project. I did speak to the developer, and he's willing to put 10 sit-down, fine dining restaurant establishments there with live music and lots of different options for community. I know that I'm tired of going to other community, let alone into another state, just to eat great food. So I felt, why not put it in your own backyard? This is the opportunity for us to rebuild our community. So if there's anybody that has sit down restaurant and they want to get it developed here in the village of Dolton, please reach out to the developer. That person is Bob Michaels, and he is in the crowd as we need to buy houses first. I'm not for sending it out of our community, because I feel that you want to redevelopment your area with the people that live here. That's the homeowners. That's someone that has a loved one that lives in their community, such as their kid, their husband, or sometimes even the grandparent, and you want to move them next door to you. You have the opportunity to buy that house first, and then we will sell it to investors. If those people that's not interested in their property, we will sell it to someone else that is not within our community. But my goal is to make sure that you have the opportunity community first, and I wanted to make sure that I built a program that was for residents, meaning home ownership. I'm asking the Board of Trustees to support me in this initiative, what he wanted in it. I included everything that anybody told me they wanted included in this Block by Block program in the village of Dolton that the village owns. The village do not own any of the vacant property. They are all abandoned, and we are currently writing ticket as it relates to grass cutting or just of Dolton. Is there a motion to approve Block by Block? Okay, one second.
I motion for a discussion purpose.
All right, it's been motioned for discussion. Is there a second? It's been motioned and second. Discussion.
Now, Mayor, I want to comment on this motion that's coming through when it's getting to us. This program, so there was a document prepared that as we asked for it. Mayor, do you know when that document was received by the board?
Go ahead, continue.
That was a question for you, Mayor.
No, go ahead with your statement.
Okay, so thank you for presenting the document. I would like to have time to discuss this with it. It was sent to the board today at 3:00 p.m., a 14-page document before we got here. So I feel that we are making some progress on this. I'm appreciative of that, but I would ask that we get enough time to actually digest it and have further discussion. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, so trustee, you have no discussion as relates to any of the information that you do have?
The information I received at 3 p.m., I have not had an opportunity to read yet.
So the information that you do have was answering the questions that you told me you want answers to, of who will man the program, how would it be distributed amongst community, which will be through lottery. Like you asked several questions, and it's just one page that answers your question. You says 14 pages, but that document consists of, is it four or six? Four.
14.
So it's 6 pages. It's 6 pages, and some pages have only one paragraph on it. So if no one wants to discuss it, no one has any question, I just want to point out this is the prime example of you guys telling me to initiate something and no one has any discussion about block by block. Residents, I will keep trying.
I got some discussion.
Okay, 1 second. I will keep trying until the board figures out.
This is another example. We got this at 3:00 today, the day of the meeting. And you say, just pass this. We have our own attorney. We don't trust this attorney. We have our own attorney. We have to look at it. You don't send us something at 3:00 and then ask us to pass it. It's amazing to me because when she was a trustee, she demanded the same thing. Be transparent. Don't send us something at 3:00 and expect us to pass it today. We just got it at, look at my email, or it says I just got it at 3:00. That's when I emailed to pass this legislation tonight. We've been asking for this for the past year, and I got it today, and you want me to pass it today? That's unacceptable. Just do better. Do better. Get it to us in a proper time. Let us get it to our attorney so we can overlook it. It'll be right, but it's not being done. We got it today at 3:00, and then you want us to pass it today. That's unacceptable. That's not even reality. I can't even believe that I'm being asked to pass something at 3 today when they gave it to us at 3:00. That's unacceptable. Just do better. This administration is not being transparent and it's not being forthright. You get up here and say what you want. All 5 of us are not making this up. All 5 of us are not just, oh, we just got some. I can't pass this. I just got this today. You just say it all the time. I just got this. You can't expect us to pass for the past year. Period. Thank you. And I'm not the only trustee that feels that way up here.
The problem is you guys are not going to pass it. The problem is we keep spending money. You keep telling me tweak this, change this, do that, jumping through hoops to get something passed for the people. That's the problem. And I'm tired of asking you guys to do what's right and create or change whatever I'm creating to what you want so you can pass it. Put what you want in it. You guys aren't doing any of that. When I come up with something, it's still a problem. You won't pass anything that I put across the board. And that's fine. I just want the people to see that every time I initiate something, it's all the issue. And as it relates to what you got in the package, it's the same thing you've had for the last couple of 6 months that I put on the agenda. It ain't nothing but the ordinance. It's just broken down after the vacant property. That's the first step. Everything else can come afterwards, but you told me to create everything now. So I did that. And once I did that, here we are once again in the same boat we was a year ago. Matter of fact, where we was last week. You told me to do something. I did it just so I could be in compliance with what the board wanted. And then it's still to no avail, nothing. We still at
May I
square
be
one.
recognized, Mayor?
Yep, go ahead.
And I believe that Trustee Steve is absolutely correct, but Trustee House had a question and you refused to answer it. I believe the communication is the issue, because just like you just said something about this block by block, just like we talked about the budget, we're getting stuff the same day. And then you're saying we're not doing our job. We're not looking. We're not, you have all these excuses of what we're not doing, but you don't even know when this stuff is being sent out, and you're the chairperson. So if there is a lack of communication throughout your department heads and when it's getting to us, whether it be 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, I don't know. That's the issue. I don't think nobody wants to just sit here just to be like, oh, we're not going to pass it because it's the mayor. That's not the case. I sat here and I said last board meeting that I don't have a problem block by block, but there was concerns about it. And the question was those concerns being addressed? Now you sent us additional information. Well, Medina sent us additional information today at 3:00 that, okay, yeah, you put the information in, or I'm assuming you put the information in, but why is it unfair for us to actually have the time to review it? And that's not what's happening. So that's where I feel the disconnect is. You're telling us, okay, I did what y'all asked me to do, but here it is 2 hours before the meeting and just glance at it and approve it. And that's not fair.
All right. Anybody else?
Yes.
All right.
I have a suggestion. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I'm thinking, as we stated, if the communication is our issue or concern, maybe we should, I know you said you made some changes, and I did receive some changes today at 3 p.m. So maybe we should table it to the committee meeting, the housing committee meeting, where we can all discuss it. We can all add anything, go over it with the residents, see if the residents have any input, and then proceed with it that way and move forward.
Okay, so every time you guys said that for a whole year, y'all did nothing. So you telling me to put something in the committee where y'all not gonna come out with anything? That doesn't make sense. I did what you guys asked me, like you asked me last meeting, and we still don't have a vote or suggesting to what y'all want to do as relates to vacant property. If y'all not gonna do it, y'all not gonna do it. We could just move on. So that was wasting money to the taxpayers to create this program, and we still at the same
this afternoon, this evening, whatever you want to say. I will review it. No, I haven't reviewed it. And once I review it, I know I will have questions for our attorney. So my thing is just this: review it, talk to the attorney, come back if it's next week or the week after. But I, as a trustee, along with other trustees, would like to review this block by block, the other information that was added with our attorney. And that's all we're asking, is that give us time to review it with our attorney and then come back to the table. Plain and simple. That's no biggie. Take a look at it, review it, ask questions with our attorney, and then come back. If changes need to be made, make the changes. If it's not, let's move forward.
Saying go back to the table, go ask an attorney, change this, do that. Residency, create something today. So it is what it is. We're gonna move on. Next on the agenda is update on ARPA funds. Trustee Norwood.
Oh yeah, Mayor. I just put this on agenda because again, for the sake of transparency, I know that in regards to the ARPA funds and the $1.5 million, as a board, we voted to move forward and create a program for windows and roofs, business grants, and new digital water meters. I know you were supposed to bring back a plan for the application process. Instead, you started taking applications without the board approval, and now we really don't know what's going on. We have residents asking us, is the deadline ended? When are they starting?